Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Q2FY26 earnings season, and in today's video we are going to be talking about Blackbuck and what does Blackbuck do. Okay, I have already covered Blackbuck in depth in one of my videos. You can always go to the business analysis playlist, or you can go to the logistics sector playlist in my YouTube channel and you'll find it over there. Because I understand Blackbuck as a business model थोड़ा difficult to understand, थोड़ा complicated है, and I've broken it down in easy words in that video. It's just that if I go to talk about Blackbuck right now, the entire business model from top to end, then this video can span up to like an hour or two, and then although I might have the patience to speak, I don't know if you would want to listen to that. So always you can just go there. Also, one of the reasons why I keep I ask you to go there is because what I see a lot of people is, they compare Blackbuck with other logistics companies in the listed space. Although all of them do operate in one space, please understand that everybody's business model is inherently different. The way they make revenue is inherently different. As a result, is not likely comparable. If you look at other companies that are there, such as SJ, ABG, Premier Road Lines and everything, they operate in this space and they're involved, in the logistics. But here, if you look at Blackbuck, it is a pure platform business. Imagine just like how you have Zomato and Blinkit, where it is a platform where you go and buy certain things. Similarly, Blackbuck is also a platform where two people who need services are getting connected. Okay. Now, if you look at Blackbuck business model, there are two important parts, or you can tell, two different categories that is there. The first category is called as a core category, and the second category is called as a growth category. Now, this core category that is there, the first one, this contributes 80% to the top line, and the growth category that is there, it contributes 20% to the top line. And ये जो growth category है, it has recently started, a year back. That is where it has gained the momentum. But the majority revenue that comes from the core category. And when you talk about the bottom line, which is you look at the margins, you look at the PAT, almost literally 100% of it is coming from the core category itself. Okay, not from the growth category, because growth category, like I told, it is still in a nascent stage. Right, it is still in a nascent stage, so it's not contributing to the bottom line. But ये जो पूरा का पूरा, if you look at Blackbuck, right, it used to be a 40% का growth engine. Now you see that the pace of growth has increased from 40 to 60%. Why? Because the growth category that is there, right, even that is contributing to the top line. Okay, so this you first need to understand. Okay, now first let us understand ये core category क्या है, ये growth category क्या है, and how does it work. Okay, core category में आपका two important models आते हैं यहाँ पे. One is the tolling system and the other one is the GPS tracking. When you talk about the growth category, you have the fuel sensor, you have the vehicle financing, and you have the vehicle loading. ये तीन आता है growth category में, and ये दो आता है core category में. I will explain everything. Please have patience with me. This video might be longer, but let me tell you again and again, if you do not understand, somebody commented that day that they like this line that, if you do not understand the business model, you will not understand jack shit of the company, right? That is absolutely true. Please stick with me, and as long as you don't understand kya chal raha hai na, you will not understand anything. Most importantly, you will also not be able to decipher what is the scope, what is the runway for the business like. Okay, so first thing first is core category. Like how does this entire thing work? What is this core category? What is this growth category? Okay, now think about this. I'm a truck operator. Okay, मेरे पास 5 truck है. I'm like the dada over here and I have like 5 trucks. Okay, and every truck is going from point A to point B. They have a truck driver. Now obviously think about this. I am sitting here at the comfort of my home in Bangalore, okay, and I wouldn't know what this truck driver is doing, what is the shipment doing. See, as a truck operator, when do I make money? I make money जब मेरा एक truck जो है, उसका shipment आता ही, like it is always on the road, making shipment from point A to point B, right? Always, being efficient, because जितना मेरा truck on the road में रहेगा, जितना shipment करेगा, उतना efficient रहेगा, उतना मैं पैसा बना सकती हूँ. India में क्या problem है is because a lot of these truck operators have around 5 trucks at the maximum. Okay, this is where majority of the truck operators are, but they face a lot of problems as truck operator. What are the problems they face? One is इनका जो truck है, once they get a shipment from point A to point B, that is over. उसके बाद they're sitting idle, उसका condition is idle and they're not on the road. मतलब क्या, वो पैसा नहीं बना रहे. The second thing is they cannot manage this truck driver, right? Because a lot of times ये truck drivers क्या होते हैं, वो चोरी करता है. ठीक है, मतलब they could, like for example, you have to go for a, you have to go from point A to point B, right, in terms of tolling, right? एंड यहाँ पे इतना सारा स्टेट हाईवेज होता है, नेशनल हाईवेज होता है, राइट? यू डू नॉट नो इफ देयर, सी एंड अनदर थिंग ओवर हियर इज, जितना जल्दी मेरा मेरा शिपमेंट जो है पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट बी चलेगा, then again I can use that same truck to go from point B to point C to do the same shipment, right? So it has to not only do as many shipments as possible, but it also has to do faster. So a lot of people, what this truck drivers do, the truck operator would have given the money for, you know, all this payment, you know, tolling ke liye and everything, they would have given the payment, but ye apna pocket mein dal dete hain and they might take some off route and not go through the highway. As a result kya hota hai, shipment gets delayed. Shipment delay hota hai to kya hota hai, you will be inefficient, and also at the same time aapka reputation kharab hota hai na, because somebody who is expecting the shipment and you have delayed it, so obviously the next time that shipper will not like you. ये एक problem है. Second is fuel का चोरी होता है. They might tell you कि like भाई मैंने 1000 rupees का ही fuel डाला है, but then they might take that petrol, you know, and sell it somewhere else. You know, you understand it. So multiple scams happen over here. So as a truck operator, what do I need? I need my truck to be more efficient. I need to have complete control of my truck, and I need to be sitting at the comfort of my home and be able to see what my truck driver and what my truck is doing. And this is where exactly the Blackbuck platform comes, and you know, it connects this gap, because ये entire trucking industry आप देख सकते हो, it is a completely fragmented space, it is completely unorganized space, it is basically, it's absolutely horrible. Okay, so and this is where Blackbuck is coming, and they're moving from unorganized space to organized space. Okay, and they provide you many services. Like I told you, ये entire ये जो tolling system है, tolling system को एक streamline में लाना, you know, so the truck operator can check, you know, all this tolling system. The second is GPS. You get to see, I can literally sit at the comfort of my own home and I can see, bro, where is my truck going, you know, कहाँ पे है अभी ये truck, you know, how many, because see, what a lot of truck drivers do is, they, let's say you have to finish a shipment from Bangalore to Delhi, okay, and it is supposed to take 3 days, but now you see that you know that it is taking 4 days, and obviously वहाँ पे तो आपका जो wherever you have to provide the shipment, वो आपको गाली देगा कि like भाई तू क्या कर रहा है, 3 दिन में आना चाहता, अभी 4 दिन है, क्यों मेरा ट्रक नहीं आया, right? It is a bad thing, and the truck driver will be like, अरे यार यहाँ पे jam है, वो है, that है, this है, you know, they can keep lying. And as a truck operator, I don't know, na, because I am sitting here in Bangalore, who knows where the truck is, you have no clue. So this is where the GPS system comes in help, you know, where you can track, you get to know कहाँ पे क्या stop किया, कितना distance चलाया, कहाँ पे कितना traffic है, everything in real time. So these two that is there, one is the tolling, okay, जो आपका state और national highways में होता है, the other one is आपका ये GPS system जो होता है, this comes in the core part of the business, which is 80% का growth, okay. The other 20% कहाँ से आते हैं, fuel sensor, vehicle financing and super load business, okay. This is where the other 3 part comes. ये fuel sensor क्या होता है, so what used to happen earlier, like I told you, the truck operator would give you money, but you don't put the fuel of 1000 rupees. आपने शायद सिर्फ 800 rupees का fuel डाला, then 200 rupees अपने pocket में डाला. A lot of people will also complain कि like हाँ, the truck driver can, you know, like send a screenshot of the bill and, you know, and get to know, but you know, right, fuel का भी चोरी होता है and everything. It's just too. And imagine, right, when you have like 5 to 6 trucks that are there and you have to do refueling at multiple stop, it becomes too much of a hassle for you to, like, you know, do everything on WhatsApp or anything. Again, you get it, right? It becomes unorganized, right? So this is where everything you have on one platform, that is Blackbuck, okay. यहाँ पे क्या होता है, एक wallet होता है, and you know, once you can, you know, you can fuel your vehicle, and एक fuel sensor जो होता है, it gets mounted onto your truck, and you get to know कि like, you know, कितना fueling किया है, you traveled so and so distance, this is how much fuel has been consumed, यहाँ पे आपने इतना stop किया, so this fuel sensor is also there. This is a part of a growth business. Now this fuel sensor was started roughly around, I think 2 to 3 quarters back, I think roughly 2 to 3 quarters back, and the problem with this fuel sensor was that it was very expensive, okay. It was like costing, I think 30-40,000, somewhere in that range. Now think about it, a truck operator के पास probably if he has 4-5 trucks, if he's putting like 50,000 rupees for everything, like for one fuel sensor, that is like 2.5 lakhs, bro. Like where will he have that kind of money? Because most truck operators are poor, they don't have that money, right? You've seen the condition of these truck drivers and everything, how will they have, right? So यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, this was a problem which because of which a fuel sensor काम नहीं कर रहा था, like I mean, it was not a good business for them. Then Blackbuck came, they operated on this fuel sensor, okay, and they मतलब उसको price घटा के they made it very efficient, and also got down the price to like 10,000, somewhere in that range. After that, fuel sensor ka business went up, like, you know, that started going up. So that is a part of the growth business. And then we had super load business and the vehicle financing business. I will talk about these two later, but this is more or less what, you know, what Blackbuck does, okay. Now what has happened over the years, over the couple of quarters, especially the last 2 quarters, is the core part of the business was always growing. Now, along with the core part of the business, we've had the growth part of the business, which is also growing at a very strong rate. Okay, so earlier the core part of the business was growing, so they were growing at 40%. But now that you see the sales that is there, sales has grown by a whooping 63%. A huge contributor of the sale to go by a whooping 63% is because the growth part of the business, which is आपका fuel sensor and the superload business, is also contributing right now to the top line, because of which आपका जो net, the sales that is there, that has increased by 60%, 63% I believe. But if you remove the other income that is there, you'll see that the total sales that is there has grown by around 50 to 53%, which is still great because we see that the pace of growth has gone up. Now, a lot of people will see sales on a year-on-year basis. I know I might get this question कि like वो 2020 के साथ आज का sales compare करेगा. Please don't do that mistake, because 2020 में pre-COVID में all the trucking industries were booming, okay? And after 2020 क्या हुआ? COVID आया, lockdown हुआ, complete wiped off entire industry. The entire Blackbuck game is you're playing that loss to profit का game, and that is what has happened over here. You will see me covered in that. Like I told you, please catch up with that video to understand. Now it is in that recovery phase, partial recovery से अभी recover हो चुका है, and it is going full boom, okay? So please understand this, don't compare it on a year-on-year basis, ठीक है? So इसके वजह से आप देख सकते हो, because the growth business is contributing right now, you will see that the sales grew by 53%, and if you include the total sales, it is up by 60%. Okay, do not compare QOQ में, because क्या होते हैं QOQ, if you remember, in the Q2 it is the leanest period. Why? Because monsoons होते हैं. Think about it, right? Again, you have to have the trucks. The more number of trucks are on the road, आप ज़्यादा state highway में फीस दोगे, national highway में फीस दोगे, आपका fuel sensor का काम चलेगा, everything will be there. You will pay subscription to Blackbuck as a platform, and Blackbuck will make money, right? Now, obviously, जब इतना rainy हो रहा है and everything, you will see that a lot of road condition gets spoiled, right? So that the entire logistic industry that is there, it becomes a little bit of flat right now in Q2. Why? Simply because of rain, right? A lot of roads get खराब हो जाता है, a lot of shipment gets delayed and everything, only and only because of this one factor, that is monsoon factor. इसके वजह से please do not compare on a QOQ basis, okay? Never compare QOQ basis. And you need to understand one thing. यहाँ पे for the first time, I think in the last decade, in the last 10 years, we've probably had a very terrible rainfall. I would say terrible is not the right word, but the monsoons that is there has been prolonged for a longer period of time compared to the last 10 years that is there. And in spite of it, they've been able to do that, 60% kind of growth rate. That is really exceptional, because I had a fear, because if the trucks are not on the road, these people will not make money. So that is the thing. In spite of this rainy season, they've done that, very, very set of exceptional numbers. Now let's talk about the bottom line. Please do not look at the PAT at an absolute level, because यहाँ पे they have a lot of ESOP cost and IPO related cost, जिसके वजह से आपको लगता होगा PAT is hardly 2 crore, कुछ नहीं है. Please understand, this is a loss to profit का game चल रहा था यहाँ पे. So you have to look at, either you look at PBT before taxes and exceptional items, या वरना आप adjusted EBITDA में देखो. अगर आप देखते हो adjusted EBITDA, it went from a loss of 20 crore in H1 versus right now they're posting, I think, around 90 crores of profit. Similarly, if you look at the margins that is there, margins has improved from, I think, roughly around, if I'm not wrong, around EBITDA margins was at a loss of negative 16.4. Right now it is at like a positive 33.6. Please look at this. This is where you get the operating leverage का concept, not in the bottom line, because the bottom line has a lot of exceptional items. Please don't do this mistake, okay? And यहाँ पे एक और चीज है, it is a platform business. Please understand, platform business में operating leverage is immense. This is just the start. You can only imagine when things become all right for them, how much immense operating leverage होगा. Because platform business में क्या है, all the expenses are one time, right? After that, if 100 people use it, या 1000 people use that platform, आपका तो line item तो उतना कुछ नहीं बढ़ेगा, right? There is not much change in cost, right? So this is where the operating leverage stands a chance to improve, okay? अगर आप देखते हो even PBT level before the exceptional items and everything, the PBT has improved from 12 to 38 crores in that range. So all in all, in terms of income statement, when you look at it, excellent set of numbers, okay? Nothing to complain about. Now let's go into the updates of the business and see कि like भाई ये धंधा क्या कर रहा है, ठीक है? What are the updates? Like I told you, the core part of the business that is there, which contributes 80% to the top line and almost everything to the bottom line, this business that is there, that grew by around 38%. Can you believe it? 38% से ये business हुआ. And यहाँ पे there are few metrics that you have to look at, okay? यहाँ पे volume growth देखना है, value growth देखना है. देखना है. Now a good combination of volume growth and value growth is gross transaction value, okay? Because gross transaction value is ultimately nothing but it goes up by, see, how does Blackbuck make money? More number of people should come and use the app. Earlier if 100 people were using the app, and now if 200 people are using the app, that is much better, right? Because this gives you an idea of volume growth, how many truck operators or truck drivers are using this app. The second is they have to increase the transactions that they're doing, which means what, they have to spend more time in the app. Let's say for earlier example they were spending 15 minutes, now they're spending 30 minutes. Agar usko usage बढ़ रहा है, then they're probably doing more number of transactions, right? Earlier he was using Blackbuck, only for one service, right? Now he's using it for more than one, he's using for 2 or 3 services, which means they end up doing more payment on this app. Then the value growth भी यहाँ पे आता है. So GTV is a good combination of both volume as well as value growth, okay? अगर आप ये चीज देखते हो, this has also grown by 30%, so well and good. Sales growth 60, operating leverage मिला है, margins has improved, and on top of that the volume plus value growth combination है, that is also improved. Other than that, if you look uska jo, like I told you, right, jo number of people that is there, the truck operators that are transacting, that has grown by 13%. Great, the time that is spent has increased by 5%, right? And ultimately look at GTV, that is the most important thing, and GTV has grown by 30% in that range. That is the value of payment. That goes to show you कि like कितना strong चल रहा है business. Now like I told you, यहाँ पे entire game change कहाँ पे हुआ? Earlier only core part of the business was growing, now the growth part of the business is also growing at the same rate. And the growth part of the business में it's a little bit of a higher margin business compared to core part, okay? So this is where the entire यहाँ पे product mix change हो रहा है, entire growth का भी push आ रहा है. So what are the few things that are happening in the growth part of the business? There are 3 main verticals. One is the fuel sensor that I told you about, right? And the other one is the super load business and the vehicle financing business. अगर मैं वो fuel sensor का बोलूँ, the fuel sensor, like I told you, has grown by 55% on a QOQ basis. मतलब last quarter से इस quarter 55% से grow हुआ. You cannot compare this on a year-on-year basis because this started only 3 to 4 quarters back. So if you're comparing on a year-on-year basis, तो बाप रे बाप, ultimate growth, okay? So like I told you, the 3 segments, fuel part of the fuel sensor is doing well. The second part of the business is super load business. This super load business was started in the last quarter. Now what is the super load business, okay? Now see, think about it. Like I told you, how does a truck operator make money? He makes money when his truck is constantly on the road. It is doing as many shipments as possible, right? That is when a truck operator makes money. But a truck operator का बहुत सारे problem है. For example, he will go, he will talk to the shipper that is there, right? And first they will talk and they will be like, हाँ, मैं आपका ये shipment करूँगा and everything. He will do the shipment, but is not making money, okay? Right? And वरना उसने कुछ shipment किया है, after that, it is sitting in idle. The truck is sitting idle. उसका shipment नहीं आ रहा है. So think about it. ना उसका loss हो रहा है. So Blackbuck is that medium, is that platform. It connects the shipper and the trucker. Now the shipper can post an ad ki like, अरे भाई मेरा एक, I want to transport 30 kgs of tomatoes from point A to point B, okay? And then after that the trucker will come. There will be many truckers, they will bid for this, and the shipper will choose one trucker. They will exchange the payment, they will exchange the contact, and they will get the shipment done from point A to point B. Now Blackbuck doesn't involve over here. Blackbuck is only a platform that where these two people can interact. In return, obviously, a part of the payment that is there, that happens over here, part of it Blackbuck will take, and obviously the shipper that is there on this platform, they will pay a take rate, and the truck operator that is there, he will pay a subscription fees. So this is how Blackbuck makes money. This is the normal loading business जो होता है, ठीक है? This is also part of the growth business. ये है normal load आपका, ठीक है? What is super load? Super load are those cargoes that that pass your normal dimensions. इसका मतलब क्या है? You might have seen, right? I'm pretty sure everybody has observed this once at least in your lifetime. When you're on the road, you will see these big trucks, ना, which will have this 16 wheels, 20 wheels. एक बड़ा truck होता है, and you will see this big cargo that is going. इसका जो एक turbine होता है, या maybe 20 cars, in this huge truck that is there. Basically, these are the cargoes that has to be sent in one piece. बड़ा cargo होता है, like यार, who is that? Our listed company that is there, that Anup Engineering, वो heat exchanger बनाते हैं, turbine बनाते हैं. Can you imagine इनका इतना बड़ा product होता है? या वरना aircraft का engine होता है, इतना बड़ा product, या कुछ भी machine होता है, something which is so big, absolutely so big. इसके लिए आपको एक special transportation ही चाहिए. मतलब अगर if I have to send you 20 kg का tomato, I can even send you in a tractor, or I can send you in a normal truck. But imagine मुझे एक engine का turbine बेचना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? From point A to point B. Then imagine कितना बड़ा मेरे को एक truck चाहिए, right? One is this. So super load is that business where you have to send the entire, where the cargo ka dimension is huge, and because of this you need a special kind of truck. And most importantly, to make sure the super cargo ka business goes on the road, you also need a lot of permission from the state highways, national highways. Even if you're going from Bangalore to Indranagar to Kormangla, na, you will need a permission, to carry this load from Indranagar to Kormangla. So this is the problem with super load business. ये super load business में क्या होता है? This was completely unorganized space, absolutely unorganized space. ये कैसा होता है ना? Imagine the good old days. If you wanted cab, how would you call the cab? You go to the yellow book and then you would find some cab car details, or you have your contacts and you have to constantly call and be like, bro, I have this load, find a truck for me, that and this. So this entire super load space is completely fragmented. It works completely on the offline base. Blackbuck came and he's like, bro, I'm going to completely do it into online. पूरा का पूरा मैं कर दूंगा, ठीक है? So this is where they entered into the super load business, which is a high margin business. Like I told you, इसके लिए एक specific truck चाहिए, specific routes चाहिए, and everything. This business that is there, it used to be classified business earlier, and now they moved into marketplace, transactional marketplace. What is the difference between classified and transaction marketplace? Classified ka matlab hai Blackbuck will not interfere, which means what? There will be a shipper, there will be a truck operator, they will come on the Blackbuck app, they will only decide, the shipper will choose, there will be many truck operators, they will be bidding for the shipper ka shipment, right? They will come, he will only choose, he will only make the payment via the Blackbuck app. Blackbuck will not interfere. I mean, tum log jo bhi karne hai kar lo bhai. I'm just here and I will take a part of it. That's it. But in transaction marketplace, what happens? Blackbuck interferes. Okay, as simple as that. Blackbuck interferes. Blackbuck is like, wait, bhai aa gaya, I will take care of you. Basically, the shipper will come, they will collect the shipper ka details, and they have the entire database, right? They have an entire database. Like now, the shipper wants to send maybe they want to send Anup Engineering ka ek bada heat exchanger they want to send. They know kitna dimensions hai, kahan se point A se point B mein jana hai. They will go to their database. They will see ki like around this vicinity of Anup Engineering ka plant, कौन से truck है? Do this truck have certain capacity to send it from point A to point B? They will choose the trucks. They will decide. They will take the payment quotation from here. Try to ask this guy कि like भाई ये payment is it okay? They will be the mediatory. They will connect. They will make the routes for you, and then after that, they will connect both the trucker as well as the shipper, and obviously this Anup Engineering will pay a take rate, whatever is necessary. जो trucker है ये अपना subscription fees देगा, and उसके बीच में जो ये whatever the value of this logistic is, they will take a part of that fee also. So this is called as super load का business especially. So you understand what the super load business is, and you understand कि like यहाँ पे क्या changes हुआ. They went from a classified to a transaction marketplace. These are the two big changes that is there had happened in the business in the last quarter, that is in Q1 of FY26. Okay, and now this business that is there, this super load business, already fuel sensor तो चलने लगा 2 quarter पहले. Along with that last quarter में क्या हुआ? Super load का भी business चलने लगा. अभी बोल रहा है, and this super load का business was there only in 4 cities: Bombay, Gujarat, Pune, and I think Chennai, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. This was there. Now they're telling in the next probably 6 months they will go from 4 cities to 15 cities. So क्या होगा? Volume growth आने लगा, because the more cities you are in, the more shipments that you can do, the more truckers you will get. Volume growth आएगा यहाँ पे, and obviously this is a high margin business. The margins I think lie here between 10 to 15%. Value growth भी आने लगेगा, which can add over the years. This can add even to the bottom line. Already it is contributing the top line. अभी bottom line में भी आएगा. Now you understand कि like how the super load business is changing them, right? Earlier normal loads चल रहा था, right? अभी super load चल रहे. And let me tell you something, super load is extremely fragmented. You can catch up with my video on SJ Logistics and Premier Road Lines, which is in the logistics space. I have explained this entire super load in depth, what is the problem and everything over here. Okay, I can't do it right now because like I told you, the video will go long. Then the last part of it is vehicle financing. Okay, now think about it. एक truck का cost कितना होता है? Imagine a truck operator has 1 truck and he wants to add another 2 trucks to his fleet. He might not be able to buy it in full cash. Now he might want to go for loan, but ये loan में भी उसको दिक्कत होता है because इसके पास कोई documents नहीं रहता है. He doesn't know how to get a loan. He might be fearing all these banks and NBFCs and everything, and he'll ultimately end up getting loans from this local loan sharks that is there. So Blackbuck comes again and is like, भाई ये भी मैं ही कर लेता हूँ तुम्हारे लिए, आ जाओ मेरे platform में. I will connect you with these banks and NBFCs, and these people will help them get that loan. ये financing भी करवाते हैं. But here is the thing, ये थोड़ा it could be a little bit slow in terms of developing, because यहाँ पे Blackbuck is not giving the loan. The loan is provided by banks and NBFCs. Now, if they have to give the loan to this trucker that is there, they will have their own conditions, right? They will have to look at their risk profile, क्या growth आएगा उनका loan book में, everything by giving this loan. So यहाँ पे ये जो, since it is completely dependent on the banking partners in order to issue a loan to a trucker, ये थोड़ा, since it is not in their hand, इनका control में नहीं है, so little bit, this can take a time to develop over there. Although it has started, but to get that similar level of growth what we are seeing in fuel sensor and superload का business, that might take a little bit time, because fuel sensor तो अपना है, vehicle क्या बोलते हैं, superload भी अपना ही है, मतलब हम करते हैं, मतलब Blackbuck करता है यहाँ पे, right? So ultimately that is easier to get more control over here than compared to vehicle financing. So now you understand what has happened in this business, right, over the year. One, earlier until now only and only core part of the business was growing. Now the growth part of the business is also contributing to the top line. Over the years we will see that the growth part of the business will also contribute to the bottom line, which will give another huge push to the bottom line. Platform business तो है, immense operating leverage तो मिलेगा ही मिलेगा यहाँ पे, there is no doubt about it. And on top of that, we are seeing that the growth business is taking a huge momentum. Whatever in the growth business that Blackbuck has touched, whatever they've touched, it has turned into gold. Now what is important is, earlier it was this loss to profit का journey में चल रहा था. Now along to loss to profit का journey, the business is getting a consistent momentum that is there in terms of earning. What is way more important right now is, along with, because see, since the time this guy got listed, now I have watched all his interviews, I watched everything, and the one thing that Rajesh guy, he kept consistently telling is like, bro, I will get operating leverage, I will get operating leverage, I will get it. Every single con call I've tracked, I've watched so many of his interviews, you go and see this, I'm not lying about it, he kept telling. And bhai sahab, kya execution kiya hai, kya track kiya hai, matlab, absolutely great execution. Whatever he told, he's done it. Bola operating leverage launga. He actually got operating leverage to the business, right? Absolutely no doubt in that. So like I told you, what is more important right now is, along with operating leverage, which they are getting every quarter now, it is also important for them to maintain this growth rate that is there, minimum 40 to 50% ka growth rate. That is also important, because I believe the scope is huge over here, so they can do it. Okay, I will also tell you one thing, guys. Whether you understand the business model or not, whether you are an investor in Blackbuck or not, I will tell you, go listen to this con call. Don't read Blackbuck. I mean, read Blackbuck later, but just listen to the con call for the first 20 minutes. Just for the first 20 minutes, aap isko sun lo. I will ask a few. I always tell you guys, right? There are two con calls you have to listen to, even if you're not an investor, even if you're not interested, right? The paper guy is here, man. Good lord. Okay, even if you're not interested, listen to Gina Siko ko con call and this guy Rajesh Blackbuck ko con call, because a lot of the times when people are doing con call, it is the CEO, the CFO, or some management coming and talking. They're not owners of the business. They have not built the business. They're not entrepreneurs. These two are, own the business. They have built the business. They are the entrepreneurs. So the vibe of the con call is completely different. And I'll tell you something. I have a lot of respect for this guy. You know why? Because Blackbuck is a very difficult business model, to understand. A little bit difficult to understand. Okay, because we don't use their services, right? Like मेरे पास तो कोई truck नहीं है. I don't use the service. But having said that, these people, the way he explains everything, this is a fifth quarter, where they're doing the con call, I suppose, and every single thing, the way he explains, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if you're a new person or if you've tracked Blackbuck for a very long period of time. The way he explains every single detail, matlab, it's as if he's explaining to his son, to a 5-year-old kid, from top to bottom approach, wo kya karta hai, bhai sahab, everything. He won't go like, hey, you're a dumb piece of shit, you don't understand it, he doesn't have that thing at all. Itna beautifully explain karta hai na, and he's so transparent, each and everything, because in that first 20 minutes he explains everything ki, like, analyst ke paas na, it's like, bro, you don't even have to listen to the rest of the con call. Like, you just get everything from that 20 minutes of the con call, and you understand the vibe, matlab, you just have to listen to this con call to understand the vibe, to understand the founder, matlab, what is a founder's psyche, matlab, kya beautifully he explain karta hai. And like, just to understand what it is like to have a passion for the business, what it is like to strive and have like this huge confidence, on your business. Matlab, can you believe this? I think he started this business 15 years ago or something. Matlab, can you imagine the amount of pain, I can't. But great. So I think his story is also really nice. You have to listen, both him and Acharya Manish. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, that's the thing. I know a lot of people will talk about valuation, but please understand, यहाँ पे valuations makes no sense because the business is just turning profitable over here. जितना इसका EPS का growth बढ़ेगा, उतना उसका valuation कम होता जाएगा. What you track is the growth rate over here and see that the product mix change is happening, and obviously operating leverage मिलता रहे यहाँ पे. That's that, guys. But have a look at this business. Great business. And yeah, that's that. I have a couple of other videos to do. Selacor में video करना है, and Gina का भी करना है. Gina का result is obviously fantastic. The con call is at 1:30 today. I will attend the con call live, and if time permits, I will do a video by today evening itself. या शायद मैं कल evening को करूँ. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that's that. I'll do it, but I'll be up to date. Yeah, that's that. I hope you all have a great weekend. Make sure you're going to the gym, doing everything. I gotta rush to the gym today. Gotta do my sauna and ice bath. But I hope you all have a great day. Hit the gym. I know it's a weekend. Don't binge. Make sure you educate yourself. Make sure you read a lot about a lot companies. Read the PPT. Read the con call. Please do. जो भी आपके पास holding है, उस holding का PPT और con call पढ़ लो भाई. मतलब कुछ भी करो. Please read it. मेरे ऊपर भी डिपेंड मत करो. Read, educate yourself, know what you're holding, and take wise decisions. Don't take decisions on anything else, but take decisions on what the management is telling according to that. ठीक है? Because nobody is coming to save you. Nobody will. Only you can save yourself. So at least this weekend, read about all the companies. Take a new step. Hit the gym. Meal prep for the entire week. And just be the strongest version of yourself. Only you can save yourself. There will be too many people out there who will try to pull you down. Be yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader. Work for yourself. Work for your family. Work for your parents, your wife, your kids, everything. But anyways, that's that, guys, and I hope you have a great day. Okay. Love you, I guess. Bye.